Hello, Marcia Grace here, your Calm Creativity Connector with Claudia. Yes, goodbye, sweetie. You go take a walk. All right, so I have a riddle for you today. It weighs nothing. You can't measure it with a yardstick. It makes no sound, and yet its presence in your life can change everything, determine your fate. What is it? Okay, I won't keep you in suspense because, as you may know, our conversation over the last couple of weeks has been about patience. Patience, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And what I said today was, what's in your crystal ball? I just happen to have my crystal ball here. Yeah, I actually have one. But if you don't have a crystal ball, you do have something else. You have the capability to imagine and to implement a successful future for yourself. You can do this, right? You don't need a crystal ball, although, they come in handy sometimes. Because when you have patience, you can see the bigger picture. You can imagine goals. You can develop goals for yourself because you don't need immediate gratification, right? Impatience breeds that need to get it done this second, right? Rush off and get it done. So you don't need that. So when you can see this higher goal that you have, instead of having your ego rushing around, conjuring up all sorts of fires that you need to put out, and when that's going on, there's no time to stop and to gain some perspective of what the possibilities are. There's no patience available to you when you're in that mindset, right? So think about this. Oh my goodness, she is that Claudia. She's knocking things as we speak right off the table. She's looking for attention, obviously. But okay, so think about it. Do you fly off to fix a situation that you later realized didn't really need fixing? Has that ever happened to you? I know it's happened to me. How about, did you ever insert yourself into a story that really didn't require your presence? We start to get a little nosy. We used to offer our advice when maybe it's not called for. I know I'm guilty of that one too. You can ask my daughter. And how about this one? Have you hastily made changes to a report or to an email you were going to send out, or some plan that you had, and then found out afterwards that that was the worst thing you could have possibly done? It shouldn't have been changed. Yep, been there, done that, right? Okay, so these are the kinds of things that are bred from impatience, right? It's true that success requires action, purposeful, well thought out plans, and that will get you there faster. Absolutely, that is true. But paradoxically, by slowing down, right, and letting patience guide you, you're going to get there faster. You're actually going to get there faster because you will eliminate all of the noise and all of the nervousness and anxiety that can just slow you down, really, so that you can come to a decision. So instead of rocketing off to follow up on the very first thought you get in your head, right? I could do this, zip, and off we go. You take the time to envision, right? Imagine the acts of the play that you want to star in to reach your goal, right? So what happens in Act 1 of your play? what preparations do you need to make, right? That's the first thing. All right, so I'll give you an example. I wanted to write a book about my metaphysical practice. She is currently now, I'm just giving a Claudia update, she is now destroying a newspaper that was laying on the couch. It is now shredded and laying in various pieces all over the floor. I should really show you, you'd get a laugh out of it. But anyway, sorry. Okay, so where was I? Act 1. All right, so I want to write this book, and I have to show you. I have to show you. You have to see this. You have to see this. Look what she's done. Look what she's done. Can you see her? She has just gone bananas. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if you could see that, but let me stick this back here. Okay. Sorry. I'm obsessed with this kitten, and she's just brought so much joy into my life. That's one of the things when I talk about, as an aside, when I talk about releasing stress, is to have a pet to entertain you and keep you occupied with things other than yourself, for one thing. All right, back to our play. And so we're in Act 1, and we're making preparations. So I have this idea that I want to write a book, and I decide that I am going to I sit and I think about it and meditate on it, as I do, and I get the idea that I want to do a book about using my blogs that I've been doing for over a year. I'm going to use those blogs. Okay. So, all right, so now what happens in Act 2? Act 2, what do you need to get you going, right? What kind of things do you need? It depends on what your project is. If you're building something, of course, you're going to need tools, you're going to need supplies. For me, to write my book, I needed to make time. And that's always tricky, right? We're finding time to do to add something into our already busy schedules is not easy. And then I needed to find an editor to help me, figure out how to put it all together or how to work with it. So that was Act 2. All right, so I went about that. The paper just went flying up in the air. All right, what happens in Act 3? Okay, this is implementation stage. So now you need to get a good start. And I did. I got a good start. I gathered up my blogs, and I put them in a Word doc. Yay! That took a little bit. I mean, there were 365 of them. So it was a job. All right. And I plodded along, and I got that done pretty well. Okay, what happens in Act 4? Here's the drum roll. Let's get out the tissue box, because this is where, oops, we fall off the wagon. So this is the time to forgive yourself for not being perfect, for not staying the course without getting sidetracked, and not letting those shiny objects, let the SOS, shiny object syndrome, infect you, right? Which it did me. Which is easy because, there's always stuff you have to do. You have to go to the post office and get stamps. You have to wash the kitchen floor. I don't know. You have to call your friend. There's a million things you have to do. I have to go out and garden, whatever it is. We have a million things that will interrupt us and prevent us from reaching those goals. So we need that ability to go within, which is what I'm all about, of course. I teach that because to me it is so absolutely essential that we get in touch with our thoughts, right? It's always about thoughts, as I always say, and it's about noticing what you're thinking that is preventing you from doing the right thing for yourself, I mean, after all, you're there to be helpful to other people. This is not an ego trip for most of us. I mean, we're here to do the things that we're good at doing so that we can be helpful to other people, right? So when we don't allow ourselves to stay focused through developing our patience ability, we will have, we will not accomplish our goal. And that's a sad thing. We don't want to see that happen. So, all right, so we're in Act 5 now, I think. Are we up to Act 5? Yes, we did the tissue box thing in Act 4, right? We forgave ourselves. We said, all right, I'm human. I make mistakes. Let me get back on track. Okay, Act 5. This is a very long play. So we're in Act 5, and now you're envisioning your goal in small little tiny steps, because the little tiny steps are what you can start to implement properly. When you have this big grand vision, it's like, where do I start? It's kind of difficult. But when you break it down into little tiny steps, then you can move ahead, and every single tiny little step that you take, you applaud yourself. You give yourself credit for having achieved that thing that day. Okay, very, very important, because if you don't honor your achievements, you're not going to have that sense of gratitude and desire to keep moving, right? So what I decided was I was going to write for 1 hour a day. 1 hour I would give to my project so that I could spend the rest of the day doing whatever else I needed to do. And that felt comfortable. That felt workable. That was something I could do. And so that's that's a suggestion of one little tiny step along the way. So applaud yourself, right? Give yourself a little treat, whatever it may be. I mean, you don't have to go out and have a chocolate hot fudge sundae. I wouldn't necessarily suggest that. But you could certainly go take a walk on a beautiful day on the beach or whatever, where I am. It's gorgeous. You could, do something, call a friend and just have a nice chat. Whatever it is that makes you feel happy and good and proud of yourself. All right, so there are many other acts in the play. I'm not going to go into all of them, but you can imagine it's your play. You make up the acts. You decide how long it's going to take, what you need to do to get the job done, right? To get to your goal, whatever your goal is, to get there and achieve what what you have to offer. So I hope that helps you. I hope you enjoyed our little play today and our little discussion of. And if you, by the way, if you don't have a crystal ball, just remember that you do have the ability to develop your patience ability, so that you can achieve your goals. Right? All right. So, as I always say, if you enjoyed what we talked about today, please share it with other people. And also, I would heartily suggest, if you want some support instantly, come and join my Facebook group, Calm, Creative, Joyful for the Busy Woman, on Facebook, of course. And what else can I say? Have a beautiful rest of the day and a beautiful weekend ahead. It's looking really good for this weekend here on Long Island. The sun is shining. It's 80-something degrees, and we're having a beautiful summer day here. So I hope your day is as nice. Many blessings, and remember, everything begins with a thought. So watch those thoughts. Catch them before they grab you and send you in the wrong direction. Bye-bye for now.